The scam artists generally come to the home in question armed with a lot of information. They've been able to see online or in public records the notice of foreclosure to know that the home's in foreclosure. They can see how much debt is on the property, how much of a mortgage or how many liens are on the property. They can see the tax assessed value, and they can figure out how much what the market value is. So they know coming to the door a lot of information, how much that house is worth, how much equity is in there, to be able to scam from the homeowner. So what they do is come to the door, many of them, and talk to the homeowner and make lots of assurances that they're going to try and help keep someone in the home, keep the lights on, food in the fridge, we can help. It's what a homeowner in distress, and often folks, we see a lot of people who are living in their family's generational homes, and for a variety of reasons the home has fallen into foreclosure, and there's a lot of shame wrapped up in that. And a homeowner having someone come to the door and promise them that they can stay in the home is a really reassuring way to manipulate someone who is in distress and who is very vulnerable. And the scammers know this. Well, what they know is that the home's in foreclosure, but these are salespeople who are trained at convincing people that they're there to help.
One of the biggest tactics that the scammers use is something that's called affinity marketing, and that's where you take something that you have in common with the homeowner and you exploit it to get them to enter into a transaction that somebody otherwise might be more wary of. Probably the most common forms of affinity marketing is at least that I've seen, are where the scams are pitched to other people that belong to the same church or other religious group or certain racial groups. For instance, I've had people tell me that, well, it was an African American business person, and I'm African American, and I didn't think that somebody that's an African American business owner would take advantage of African American people like this. Probably the biggest of the affinity marketing scams are the ones that I've seen that go through churches. People tend to think that the other people that they go to church with are trustworthy and wouldn't take advantage of them. And so that makes people that are approached by other members of their church more vulnerable from that standpoint. Other tactics are things like a lot of times the scammers will claim that they work for nonprofit organizations, or claim that they have some affiliation or association with a government agency like the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, for instance, HUD, the Federal Housing Administration, other government agencies that people think would be consumer friendly and trustworthy. A lot of times they'll send direct mail literature. They'll have a seal that'll look very similar, for instance, to government agencies or a trusted nonprofit group, and that can mislead people into thinking that they're dealing with someone that's either been approved or licensed by one of these agencies or somehow certified by a respected organization, and they haven't.
What they'll often do is present the homeowner with a lot of paperwork, and that might be filing a bankruptcy, even though they may not be attorneys, to stop a foreclosure if it's imminent. It might be having them sign all kinds of agreements that the homeowner doesn't have time to read, all the while assuring them that you are going to remain in your home, we'll help you keep the home, we'll help you repair your credit. Again, this is a common tactic. Not all of them use this, but really designed to create a lot of dust and confusion around what is actually going on. So they're signing papers, and in fact, often it's a deed, but telling them you're going to remain in the home and we'll help get you back on your feet while you remain in the home. So that's how vulnerable homeowners get scammed. And in a sale-leaseback situation, if the homeowner signs sale-leaseback paperwork, they will remain in the home for a year, basically prepaying rent out of the home's equity to the scam artists, and at the end of the year, possibly 2 years, the scam artists usually evict them or get the homeowner to agree to move out, at which time they'll then transfer the property to a third party. And the equity's gone and the homeowner's out of the house.